Anyway, we went down the mountain into this little ravine area. We went back through all these narrow corridors to the place where this old Taoist medicine man had his little office, this tiny little place. It was kind of the closest thing to what we were looking for here that we found by a lot. And that was a real big connection because it turned out that he had a perspective on medicine that was very similar to my own, which was like a universal spirit healing kind of a thing. And he felt like he discovered a way to do that, and that was the way that it should be, and that had been lost, and he was all by himself, and he was all alone. And that's the way I have felt a lot. You know, I think I saw myself in him, and I had started developing a problem with my health by then, actually, when I was using my essential oils, and that was helping, but I still wasn't feeling well.
好的天，你的梦想比昨天转化好，向好的方面转化了。我看那个手筋膜的那个，这手筋膜在我们中医该叫手筋膜，就是查灵魂能量啊。就是说治病就要治到灵魂，调整灵魂。所以就是这个生命公司啊，就是灵魂。这个宇宙里的是我昨天讲的，宇宙也是个大灵魂，就是这一个东西运动宇宙啊，运动有节奏的运动。所以我就说，我们全人类、全地球世界的全人类，是啊，都是宇宙上帝的，每一个人是宇宙上帝的一个细胞，我们是一个大家族，是不是啊？哎。就是跟我们道教说呀，道生一，我讲的就是这个一，所有万物都是我讲的这一个。我们每一个人体啊，都有成仙、成佛、成主的先决条件，就是已经身体上具备了这个条件，只要净化、善良、修，人人都可能回归宇宙最好、最美的天堂当中去。
It's really beautiful. It really gives you a sense of peace. It does give that impression. It does. It's like heaven on earth. You get some implications that somebody actually knows something of the old ways here. Those possibilities that we read about of what the old guys achieved, and the immortals, and what that was about. I mean, if there was a place on earth to do it, it would be this. And so we're approaching the final part of the peak. It's practicing. There's old pictures, the ones we got at the Baiyuan Taoist monastery in Beijing, that actually depict the body as a scenery, and this is the mountain, and the points up here are called the top of the summit. These are approaching the top of the summit, after the summit. It's all named after this. So this has to do with that whole idea of transforming the Jing to the Qi, to the Shen, and then finally to the immortal spirit, which all occurs at this point.
去看一下那块金砖。那么现在大家陪我去看一下我们所剩下的一块金砖。
Okay, here we are at the top of the Golden Summit. Behind me is a little temple that's dedicated to Emperor Jun-Wu, and an old mystical fabled couple, the Weaving Maiden and the Cowherd Boy. And the story symbolizes the intermingling of yin and yang.
Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, he went to pray. Okay, this is the place where I got my biggest inspiration, and I realized that it was really real, and it wasn't just, the Tao wasn't just in me, that it was in a huge civilization. A whole emperor valued the Tao so much to have built this whole thing up, and that people practiced the way for a long, long time, and there's still a remnant of it here, externally, and that whole internal-external connection, I just felt it really deeply. It was a good connection. And it was right here, actually. There was some sort of spirit here that I felt. Right here. This is the connection. It goes all the way down. Right here. This was like a giant earth acupuncture temple. And it was created by the emperor, probably in Beijing. But after they figured out, the geographers figured out where to do this, they put their feng shui, they put their Taoism, they put everything at their command into this one thing, to connect all that stuff together. It's a big deal. Everything is all connected. It's like the Weaving Maiden and the Cowherd Boy. Things come together and they fall apart. They come together and they fall apart. But this temple endures the coming together and falling apart, and it outlasts all of that. So that when things fall apart, this temple will remain, if nothing else, for its beauty. Even as a tourist spot. This place will remain because it's a tourist spot until the next coming together in time. And then the Tao will return. So some people still have the Tao inside. Maybe they're living here on the mountain. Maybe they're living in Idaho. But this is the center. This is the world axis as far as I've ever seen. This is a good idea to come here. We didn't know why exactly, but it worked out. I think it worked out. Worked out. This sacred geometry. We figured out what the whole place was. It was like, oh yeah, that's what this place is. This is a giant peace machine. We felt at that time that we were part of Wudang, and that what Wudang was about as a giant peace machine was now inside of us, and that now we were part of that mission that had been there for, it's been there now for over 2,000 years. And it's still there, and it's still working. There's still people there who know that the Taoist healer knew that, and I think that the Taiji guys knew that. And that gives us speculation that there are other people there on the mountain that knows that. And we can't help but want to go back.